Let's take a look at this Eactive marketing. And really what I mean here is new media. Obviously, if you've listened to anything in the industry news, what's buzzing is social, digital, mobile, and that's indicative of this new media trend. And our text is using a term called Eactive marketing. Web 2.0, this is a term you might hear get thrown around, and really it describes the moment of today's mediated communications. Web 2.0 really recognizes this give and take of communication, moving things online so that we can do things more in real time, right? I could tweet something out to my followers and then people can retweet it, they can respond to the tweet. We have this idea of instantaneous marketing. And that's what's really appealing of Web 2.0, but then also too we have to recognize that instantaneousness can also mean things like negative comments, negative events, etc. So it's really radically changing the way marketing communicators both plan for advertising and proactive forms of marketing communications, but it's also shaping the way marketing communicators, do PR and respond to crisis. So, as we kind of mentioned, the joy of interactive marketing is this idea of two-way communication, right? We want to be able to give and take. When you do two-way communication, what that means is not only are you putting a message out, but you are also pulling a message back towards your brand. So, online what this does is this allows for a tracking of activity. We put a message out and people click on it. When people click on it, we know they clicked. And that gives us some sort of indication of what's going on in the marketplace. And so we're going to use interactive marketing really, to do a couple of things. We can target people based on their behaviors, what they're clicking on, what they're interacting with. And we also can use it to engage customers, to create content that they're going to want to read, enjoy, and share. And that's going to allow us to build relationships. So what are the tools that we use online? Well, banner ads are probably the most basic and fundamental, and they're just what you think they would be. They're the ads that we see on websites. We have blogs, which are written versions, weblogs. We have vlogs, which are basically video blogs. So more and more people are getting on YouTube, and they're producing these vlogs, where they're just filming themselves, talking about an issue, showing off a product, etc. You got a lot of stuff that you can do via email, whether it is a newsletter, whether it is a more directed advertising or sales pitch that you're making through email marketing. You could do all sorts of online promotions like contests, picture contests through Instagram. Help me come up with a new flavor for Lay's potato chips. And then we can also get really kind of serious and do some search engine marketing, which we'll talk about in a moment. And of course, we are all aware of social media campaigns, which may include viral video and podcasts, which is the audio form of, let's say, a blog or a vlog. So really, we can say blogs, vlogs, and podcasts. I just enjoy saying vlogs, so I'm going to say it as much as I can. So let's look at the advertising, online advertising. Now, I used the word banner before, or really we might call it display advertising. And these are the most, let's say, most traditional way to use the web as a media or an advertising media. You pay for the ad space and you deliver the ad, and then people click through or they don't. Right? So we see more and more brands liking to put their ads online because we can track those clicks, and that becomes a big major advantage. This idea of measuring results through the online metrics. Click-through rates, click-through and purchase, all sorts of interesting metrics are able to be collected on. Search engine optimization. Well, I skipped through the search engine marketing, which is really the broader term. Search engine marketing is when you can purchase search terms on Google, on Bing, on Yahoo, and when people search for the terms that you've bought, then your brand is going to show up as one of the top results. Search engine optimization is a little different from SEM, which is search engine marketing. SEO is when you work from your internal side. So what you're going to do with search engine optimization is you build your website so that naturally search engines will find your website and report it as most relevant in their results list. And that's a real technical process to do SEO. You have to know how to do the coding and do the tagging and do all sorts of things as you're building your website. But what's really interesting with SEO is that you use it in combination with paid search, and then that's how your brand really gets up there in the rankings on search engines like Google. And so we're seeing quite a bit of these new media, these digital media, as being emphasized, because of the high level of tracking, and SEO is just a whole nother way for us to track people's behaviors online. We also have consumer-generated advertising. I love this idea of crowdsourcing. I mentioned Lay's potato chips doing their flavor contest. That was not a joke. That's for real. So Lay's goes to its website, goes to Facebook, goes to Twitter, and encourages people to suggest new flavors. And then they develop a certain number of those new flavors. They have the public vote on them, and then they actually bring one of those flavors to market. And you can't do this kind of thing through television. You can't do this kind of thing through magazines. The interactive aspects of online media and digital media is what really is appealing to brands. And you can see just based on these few examples that brands are really getting on board these new media.